Hi. Yesterday, I talked to y'all about if you're considering homeschool, relax. And I'm moving on with more. You're considering homeschool? How do you choose a curriculum? Relax. So that's where we are right now. If you haven't watched me before, I'm going to just really briefly tell you, I'm a homeschooling veteran of nearly 2 decades. I've homeschooled in 4 different states, and I have graduated one child who graduated from college with honors and is working in his adult job, I guess. And I have another one still in school. So I know a lot of homeschoolers. I've talked to a lot of homeschoolers, and I've done it for a very long time. Yeah. So at any rate, so choosing a curriculum. I had a friend comment yesterday, it'd be nice if you talked about like what kind of curriculum to choose. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. But the first thing I want to say about choosing a curriculum is be flexible. There's a little bit of trial and error in homeschooling when it comes to figuring out what works best for you and your children and your family lifestyle. So it's okay. Be flexible. For example, right now, I did all this research and chose an English curriculum for this year, and it's not working super well with us. And I'm at the point of deciding, do I need to just trash this and find something else, or can I modify it to make it make do? But thankfully, I bought it on clearance, so there's not that much money to be concerned about. But I will say, on this being flexible, also understand that your family needs are going to change from year to year. So the curriculum that was perfect for you the first year may not be the curriculum that's perfect for you the next year. For example, when Peck was in 2nd grade, it was necessary for me to do Time for Learning, which is an online school. Just based on the needs of our family, that was what worked best for us. And now we're back into, I guess, what I would call more traditional homeschooling. So number 1 on choosing a curriculum, be flexible. It is not the end of the world. It's not. You can change. That's the amazing freedom of homeschool. You can change. You can say, this is not working for us, and ditch it and start a new one. So be flexible. Number 2, buy used when you can. Or as I said, I bought the English curriculum on clearance. If you buy used, you feel less guilty about saying, this doesn't work for me and I need something else, because you haven't invested that much money in it. But where can you buy used curriculum? First of all, there are several Facebook groups on used curriculum. You can do a search. There are plenty of those. You can find used curriculum on eBay. I have found it on Amazon. And I have even found curriculum at the library book sale and at the thrift store. So when you're keeping an eye out for curriculum, you can find it lots of places without it having to cost a lot of money. So number 3, how do you choose a curriculum? You know, I always struggle when somebody says, well, what do you use? You know, and I'm happy to tell you what I use. But the thing about the curriculum is that number 1, it needs to work best with your personality as a parent. Yeah. And then secondly, it has to work with your children's learning styles and personalities. And then thirdly, it has to work with your family needs as they are going on. So there's a lot of things, and that's why I can't just go, oh, buy this one. You know, I can't just say, oh, this one, because I got to ask some questions about your family. But I am going to go and give you some general ideas that you can equate with think about yourself and your children, and I'm going to give some general ideas of things to look for, and then you'll have keywords in there that you should be able to Google. There is a lot of wonderful curriculum reviews online, so what I'm going to try to do is give some broad categories that give you an idea of where to start looking. That's the best I could do. So number 1, if you as a mom do not have much time, let's say you've got a lot of little children running around, so you don't have a lot of time for teaching and educating, or perhaps as some moms or dads, I'm assuming here, as some parents do, they are also working. So they're having to juggle homeschooling and a job. So if you don't have a lot of time and you have children that are self-starters and do pretty well working independently, I would choose a curriculum such as Life Packs by Alpha and Omega, or ACE PACE. They're very student directed. They can sit down, they can do their work without a lot of, without much guidance from you, without much of your time. So secondly, let's say you are a very organized and structured person and you have children that respond well to a very organized and structured environment. I would say perhaps an all-in-one curriculum, or sometimes I call them box curriculums. They're ones where the publishing company sends you every subject. They send you lesson plans. They send you teacher's guides that has printouts. Everything's right there. All you have to do is follow the lesson plan. That might work well for you. Some examples are Rebecca and Bob Jones. They're very structured, and I know some families that do really well with those curriculums. Another option for you might be if you're a person who loves literature and your children love to read and they love to write and you like to go for walks in the woods, then I would recommend perhaps something like Charlotte Mason or something like that. Good examples of that are Ambleside Online, My Father's World, and there are others out there. And then lastly comes in the mom like me and like my sister, the creative mom. I like to think up and plan cool things to do, and I don't like really somebody telling me what to do. So I never do really well with a curriculum that hands me a lesson plan and says, follow this, because I want to think up my own lesson plans. So if you're that kind of mom, there are a couple options for you. One is unit studies. This means that you decide, okay, we're going to learn about elephants right now. And the unit study has everything on elephants in it. And there are a lot of ways to buy unit studies. There are things like Rainbow Resource that lists a lot of unit studies. Evan Moore Publishers. Even the website Teachers Pay Teachers is a great place to find and download unit studies. Or you can make your own if you're very creative. And usually if you're making up your own, then the only money you've spent is on a math curriculum, because you can get library books and get printouts online and ideas there. Another thing is what we call an eclectic homeschooler, and this actually more applies to me. I use a different book for a different subject, and sometimes I change them in the middle of the year. I do not follow one set curriculum, and even within those books, I'll take a break and just do something else. Like the other day, when my son and I decided to do the hummingbird feeder, we took a break from all our planned stuff, and all our writing and all our science and things had to do with hummingbirds, even our math, because we're in fractions right now, and making the nectar involved fractions, and we talked about adding and subtracting and all of that. So when it comes to just individual books for individual subjects that I might recommend, for reading and phonics, I recommend Explode the Code. That's for your early year elementary reading level. There's pictures, there's silly sentences. It made my sons laugh. Another option when you get into older, your children are a little older than that level, Total Language Plus puts out books on specific novels. So it's one booklet on a specific novel with project ideas and those kinds of things. Another good one is Learning Language Arts Through Literature. If you're looking at math curriculum, if you have a child that is all about math and is really good at math, then I suggest Saxon Math or Beast Academy. Beast Academy is all about problem solving, and if you have a mathematical, analytical brain, it's fantastic. If your children are not that way, if your children are more visual or they need to have a hands-on learning style, I recommend Math UC. I always go try other stuff because that's my personality, and then I end up back at Math UC for both of my boys. It's an excellent curriculum. Science gets a little bit broader. There are excellent secular science curriculum out there. There are also excellent Christian science curriculums out there, depending on, what approach you want to take with your family. Because I am a Christian homeschooler, and one of my goals of homeschooling is to provide a firm foundation in Christ, I tend to use Christian Science. I've used Apologia. I've used Bob Jones. We are right now using Master Books, but we just started it. So I'm enjoying it so far, but we haven't gotten far enough in for me to say. So I hope this helps you think about, okay, what kind of person am I? And then you can go in and Google, unit studies or all-in-one curriculums. You're going to find excellent reviews online. Kathy Duffy does excellent reviews of curriculum and provides guidance. So I hope this helps you today. And I want to remind you again, be flexible, because it takes a little while. And what's wonderful about homeschooling is you have the freedom to really discover what excites your child and makes them excited about learning. And frankly, what excites you and makes you excited to teach. So I hope this helped. As I said, I kind of hate the curriculum question because it's so broad, but I hope this helped you make some decisions today. There's been a really good graphic floating around Facebook also talking about good curriculums for different subject areas. I'm going to go snag that and put it down in the comments. And I'm also going to put a quick video of us doing a learning game the other day, because the great thing about homeschool, it doesn't all have to be out of a book. And just to let you get an idea that learning could be in all kinds of ways. So I'm also going to put in a quick video of us doing a learning math game. Thank you for your time. I will be back tomorrow to talk about that dreaded question, socialization. Bye.